So yesterday, right before the game, Terry Francona actually was in the pregame, spoke, and then he pulled DeMarlo Hale, one of his coaches, obviously, into his office and told him he didn't feel well. He went over to the Cleveland Clinic. We are very lucky in this city to have both Cleveland Clinic and UH, two of the best hospitals on the entire face of the earth. And Terry Francona, unfortunately, listen, he's not a young guy. He's in his mid-60s. He has spent a ton of time at the hospital recent years. I mean, he's missed a lot of time, guys, in the last 4 or 5 years with a variety of health issues. Now, I don't know what's wrong with him now. Apparently, we'll get an update. But he's missed a ton of games, especially the COVID season, the year after that. He's had all kinds of surgeries. He's had health issues. So I don't know. I mean, I thought there was a chance he was going to retire at the end of last year when his contract was up, and a couple of years ago, remember, he missed the end of the season. Mm-hmm. So we wish him the best, but once you're in your 60s and you have all these kind of health problems, you never know. Yeah. Listen, I've been critical of Francona this year. I don't think he's done a particularly great job in comparison, but I'm not one of those. I certainly don't want to fire him, but I mean, you see that. I mean, it's a lot of different things on the list, and this is just some of it. But at some point, you wonder. I mean, I don't know what he'd do without baseball. It seems like his whole life. Yeah. But you wonder if he's going to consider hanging it up soon. Because again, this might be nothing. Maybe he's just got a sinus infection. Maybe it's nothing with nothing. He's just extra cautious now. But he's had so many issues. You wonder how much longer he can do this.
That was what I was getting at, Bull. As I clear my throat.
Let me clear my throat.
Hey, but sorry about that.
It's been like this all morning. I don't know what it's these two right here been in rare form. It's all morning.
You feel the love.
Chill out
tonight.
Chill.
Don't have it on tag board
Chill.
yet.
Don't put it on tag board. It's gonna be out of context. If they put something up there, it's not what it looked like at all. It's bad. It's not.
Hey, man.
Yo, let me put the disclaimer out there now. It's not what it looks like.
He's doing a lot of talking.
I'm just saying, it's not what it looks like.
A lot of explaining.
Oh, my God.
I told her, here's the thing about Tito. Are the Guardians wasting great years? Think about this. I remember the days of Eric Wedge, Manny Acta. You got a guy right now who is a Hall of Fame coach. He gets the most out of his players. And sometimes I look at it and say, listen, you guys are you really maximizing this dude's time with your organization? Because right now, like you said, anytime you get in your 60s, and we hope everything is fine, maybe it's just something minor, but anytime you get up in age, small things become big things, right?
Certainly can.
And so for me, I'm saying to myself, hey, are the Guardians realizing that one day he's not going to be on the bench no more? Sometimes I think they operate under this false sense of security where they feel like, oh, man, Tito will be here all the time. Tito, you could do certain things with Tito that you can't do with other people. If you draft a kid and you borderline on him, you think Tito's going to be able to, play the Jedi mind tricks and get him to play the best he can play. Yep. That doesn't happen with everybody. Look around the league, bro. I remember when they didn't have this type of coach on the bench, and sometimes I wonder, will they look back at it and say, we should have done more to get a better roster, to give him a better chance to actually win a World Series? I don't know.
I think I would be in that too. I mean, you want this man to ride out on top. I mean, obviously, like you said, he's a Hall of Famer for what he's done, and it's been seasons we've come in and it was like, there's absolutely no way that the Guardians is going to do anything this
last year.
And somehow, some way, he's able to get it done. I think Right, you got to find a way to put some talent around him so he can truly maximize his potential as being the coach of this team. But as far as the health concerns go, I'm praying that it's something minor and it's something that, when you get older, since he's had the past, he wants to make sure that he's on top of things because you don't want the thing to expedite. So I'm praying that that's what it is. But when you do hear it, it's like when you think about all the time that he's missed, I mean, It was like a couple seasons ago, he was out for 2 or 3 months, it seemed like. So when you
Yeah, I
think,
thought that was going to be it then.
yeah, that's what everybody was like. Oh yeah, he's probably done, and he
but
keeps
he loves.
fighting.
I mean,
Yeah.
I just can't imagine him doing anything else. You know how like you hear about these old couples that like
Travel.
the husband dies or the wife dies, and then you're like, oh, you know, the other one's going to die
Oh,
like,
yeah.
right
Yeah.
away.
Like
I
you-
feel like that's Francona in baseball. It's like he's got to manage. Like I don't know what else he has in his life. He has his little scooter. Have you guys seen him on a scooter?
Yeah, they robbed him
good.
for it.
Right, they robbed his scooter. That's right. When we went, when I took the kids to the baseball game a couple weeks ago, when we were leaving the stadium because we stayed for the fireworks after. So by the time we left, the players had already been going, and we saw Francona drive right by us on his little scooter. It was so funny. I mean, he's like 65 years old driving around downtown on a scooter. But listen, obviously we all hope he's okay. It's funny, your sentiments, G. It's almost like that's how we talk about Myles Garrett and Nick Chubb. Are we wasting their prime?
Right.
We're talking about kind of the same thing with an old manager. You know, I ranted and raved about the Guardians a couple of days this week, so I'm not going to go down that road again. You know, everybody knows at this point what they got to do. They did win last night. It was kind of a weird game, but hopefully he's going to be okay. And they do need him back there because even with some, with some of the mistakes he's made this year, I think on the field he's made. But what he does so well, as you said, you call it the Jedi mind trick. Like he is a great motivator. He's really excellent with young players, which he wasn't earlier in his career. He just knows how to relate. It's weird because usually people that are 65, you don't think they can relate to 20-year-olds.
Yeah.
But he does. I mean, he does that as well as anybody. That's what makes him a special manager. By the way, how about this? So he's managed 21 years in the major leagues between Philadelphia, Boston, and Cleveland. His first 4 years in Philadelphia had a losing record every year. They were bad. In his 17 years managing in the American League, over I think 18, it was 1 year in between Boston and Cleveland. So in the last 18 seasons, including this year, he's been a manager for 17 of those 18 seasons. The worst record he has had over almost 2 decades, the worst record since coming to the American League was a few years ago with the Guardians where they finished 80 and 82. That was the worst record, 80 and 82. He's been over 500 16 out of 17 seasons. Well, 15 out of 16 because this year's still up in the air.
Let me see if this is correct.
Yeah.
I wasn't on air at the time that I could voice my opinion about this. Let me get this correct. Did the media and people get mad at him for drinking beer with his players?
You mean when it ended in Boston?
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't remember the exact reason. There was a sense that he had lost his control of the locker room.
Because he drank.
I don't know that it was specific with beer.
Right.
Let me tell you something. That happens in every baseball locker room.
Yeah, and it should. It should continue in every locker room.
By the way, when I first started,
And a lot.
when I first started working for the Batavia Muck Dogs in the minor leagues, okay, so I was the play-by-play guy, but we only did the road games on the radio because the dopey GM of the team thought, well, if we do the home games, nobody's going to go to the game, which is stupid, but okay, whatever. So for the home games, I was in charge of media. Not that we had like one reporter that became there, and I was in charge of like statistics, and I did some on-field promotion. I did everything. But one of my jobs was at the end of every game, I had to bring 2 cases of beer down to the coaches. That was part of my job at the end of the game.
That's it?
2 cases of beer, and those guys would sit. Greg Legg, Frank Klebe, and Ken Westray. Shout out to those guys. I don't even know if they're all still alive, but I hope they are. Greg Legg actually played in the majors, and they would just drown 2 cases, and then they'd go out after that. But they would be knocking down 2 cases. That's a baseball locker room. I don't know about other locker rooms.
I was
but
gonna
in
ask
baseball,
that's it.
They're always drinking beers in there.
Do they do that in the NFL locker rooms? Do you crack beers?
They ain't drinking no beer. They drinking other things.
They got Hennessy, right?
They got all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bottles.
So they stay with the bottles afterwards. You get the bottle and they roll out?
Yeah.
Is they on chill?
No, they chill for a little bit, but a lot of people, depending after the game,
Yeah.
you might have a little celebratory drink, but they clear it pretty fast.
Oh,
because
so-
the media's coming.
So they clear it up. And
There you go.
Hey, listen, DeQuell Jackson, we still waiting on you. If I get thirsty, though. And by the way, ain't we supposed to eat that cereal? We're supposed to eat that.
Probably pretty damn stale at this point.
Nah, we're supposed to eat that. Well, at least.
You better put some water on there.
Yeah,